Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by first thanking the organizers for getting me here, and also thank them for surprising me by giving me the theme address. So I'm going to speak what comes to my mind. I don't have a prepared script. As a military man, I look at security in a different manner. What cybersecurity means to you, it means the same to me, but with a difference. I'll explain why I say so. In earlier times, few years gone past, securing data, securing applications was comparatively an easier task. Nobody spoke of cybercrime the way they speak about. We were using databases, we were using data centers then also, we were communicating with each other then also, but this sort of crimes were not happening. Now why I see this happening now is because we are connecting our data sources to networks and systems. And while we are talking a lot of cyber security, somewhere down the line, we are not really focusing on the reason why there is intrusion and why does cybercrime take place, why are there attacks of cyber. If there is a car running on if there is a road, then only a car can run on it. And if a car runs on it, only then, if the road is not governed properly, only then there will be an accident. So I draw this analogy. While it is essential for me to protect my applications, it is more essential for me to see that people who are inimical to these applications do not enter the network that carries these application data from one place to another. Therefore, I would say that I look at cybersecurity in three different parts. One is application security and the user. The second is system security. And the third is network security. And I do not see these coming up separately. In many organizations, this has been the trend, that the database security is given to one agency, system security is given to somebody else, and the network security is given to somebody else, with the result that there are adequate amount of leaks in security and an intruder can enter. If we have to have secure networks, it is essential that we have end-to-end security. And like my predecessor just spoke, it is essential for each user to be fully educated. It is not essential that an auditor, a cyber auditor comes and tells, these are your flaws. So what am I going to do with my flaws? Every individual is not going to hire experts to take care of those flaws. So we must cater that about not more than 20% of the populace who is using these applications and systems will be able to take care of the flaws which have been pointed out. They will be aware of it, but they may not be able to take care of it. So how do we handle the rest of the 80%? Now that is where network security and system security takes a front seat. If we do not prevent malicious content from entering, then it doesn't matter what type of hardware or what type of software or what type of datagrams are generated at any stage, whether intentionally or unintentionally. For us, fortunately, in the defense services, we are a little better placed because our networks are exclusive. And we are air-gapped in policy from the internet. And hence, intrusions are a little more difficult. I won't say it is impossible, because the protocols that we are following are the same as the civil world. So if there is intent, then our networks can be penetrated, either with consent of insiders or without consent of insiders. This gets further aggravated because we are now going to the wireless domain, more and more into wireless domain. And nothing much can be done to intercept datagrams in the wireless domain if they are not secured properly. For the future which is emerging, I see exclusive networks going past, and I see more and more use of public networks even for security services. It will be very difficult for any organization, be it defense or civil, to set up its own captive networks in real time and deliver the goods in real time. It is not possible. The way technology is going past, the way it is developing, we have to perforce make use of this technology in a common space. So we will have to find ways and means of seeing how this cyber traffic or how these cyber intrusions can be prevented from entering into our systems, entering into our applications through networks which are public. We will have to see not only users entering, we will have to prevent malicious machines from entering. We will have to prevent malicious code from entering. And steps are underway, and there are steps which are available to do this. Only thing which I find lacking in the atmosphere which I see in the nation, that there are good efforts going on all around in various departments, but there is no coordination. Now, if A, B, C come up with good security practices, and they can secure their own portion of the network, that does not mean that we've got a network which is fully protected. So unless there is a framework which is laid down at the top and then drilled down for implementation to everybody else, so duly supported by education, I don't see cybersecurity happening the way policies envisage it happening. We in the defense forces are trying to do this, and we hope that we will set an example which others can follow. Thank you very much for giving a patient hearing, and I think we'll hear more about this as the day progresses.